could not be more pleased. And honestly, we needed this more than folks realized. But to have a post-pandemic, whatever that phrase means to us anymore, a true bona fide sellout. We have not seen this prior to 2019, and that's a long time.
And greetings, everyone, and welcome to Buzz for Good, where we talk all things nonprofits, the people they serve and the good they do. And it has been a minute, as the kids say, since our last show in October here on WFIR, but we have been preempted on all the Saturdays since then for Virginia Tech Hokies football games. I want to give a quick shout out to head coach Brent Pry and his team for earning a spot in the Military Bowl on December 27th. I had the good fortune to interview Coach Pry and a couple of his players earlier this year for an episode of Buzz that we produced featuring the Hokie Way, and what a dynamic man he is to lead the Hokies. So congratulations to Coach and the team. Not only are we entering bowl season, more importantly, we're now in the holiday season. So today I will be talking to two nonprofit arts leaders about their upcoming Christmas performances. Ginger Poole of Mill Mountain Theater, which is currently presenting the musical Elf, and Kim Davidson of the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir as it prepares for its 37th annual Songs of the Season concert on December 16th in Roanoke. Next time on Buzz for Good, we will be playing Christmas songs and performances from nonprofits throughout the Roanoke and New River Valleys, such as the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir and Blacksburg Master Chorale. So tune in next time to enjoy the sounds of the season. Also, while we have finished producing episodes of our TV show Buzz here in Virginia for 2023, we are thrilled to be launching our show on Alabama Public Television, starring 4 nonprofits in my hometown of Birmingham. The first features the nonprofit COSPO, which is an acronym for Children of Slain Police Officers. And this nonprofit covers all college expenses for children who had a parent killed while serving in the Birmingham Police Department. It airs Friday, December 15th at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and we will also release it at that time on our YouTube channel at Buzz for Good. Today, I am going to give you a sneak listen to that show and 2 of the courageous, amazing college students who lost their dad. But first, my name is Michael Hemphill. I'm the creator and host of this radio show, Buzz for Good, as well as the TV show Buzz that airs every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on Blue Ridge PBS. You can also watch our episodes. We're now about 40 episodes featuring nonprofits on our YouTube channel at Buzz for Good. You can also stay connected with us on our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, all at Buzz for Good, or our website, buzzforgood.com. That's Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, 4, good.com. Can't do any of this without our sponsors, and so I want to thank the Roanoke Cultural Endowment, which is working to provide a long-term funding solution for arts and cultural organizations in Roanoke, roanokeculturalendowment.org. Our good friends at Friendship Senior Living Community. Find out more about them at friendship.us. Partners in Financial Planning, a Southwest Virginia-based financial management firm, partnersinfinancialplanning.com, as well as Freedom First, where people bank for good, freedomfirst.com. Now, one of my favorite holiday movies is the Will Ferrell classic Elf. And we are starting today's show with my conversation with Ginger Poole, producing artistic director for Mill Mountain Theater, which has been enjoying a sellout success with the musical version of Elf. And if you don't already have a ticket, well, this may be the closest you get to the production. So I hope you enjoy. All right, well, it is my pleasure to welcome to Buzz for Good Ginger Poole, who is the producing artistic director for Mill Mountain Theater. And Ginger, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well. And thanks so much for thinking of us and having me join you today.
Absolutely. Well, I hope it is happy holidays at Mill Mountain. I know with your Christmas production of Elf. It seems to be having just a huge success so far.
Well, thank you. We could not be more pleased, and honestly, we needed this more than folks realized. But to have a post-pandemic, whatever that phrase means to us anymore, a true bona fide sellout. We have not seen this prior to 2019, and that's a long time. But we truly sold every single seat from the director's booth to the overflow seats. It is a full house every single show for the entire run.
Fantastic. Well, I was actually going to get to that later, but since you just brought it up, you mentioned the pandemic. Are we over COVID by now?
No. I mean, I don't think we're over it because I think we've learned to live with it.
Sure.
I think
that's what I meant. Not obviously COVID is still there, but our theater audience is more comfortable with it now.
I think they're more comfortable than they were a year ago. We still have patrons that are being careful if they have a special health predicament that they want to protect, which we totally understand. We still see occasional folks choosing to wear a mask. We have lifted a lot of the things that were much harsher even this time a year ago. We don't have to require our audiences to wear masks. It's totally, if they want to, great. We even provide them if they want one once they get here and realize that, oh, it's a little bit more crowded than I realized. But we don't have to do the stringent practices that were required of us through the Professional Actors Union, Actors Equity Association. Those have been lifted and alleviated a lot, even from the past year. But it's still a caution that we still have our cast, crew, band members exercise caution when they're in a production, because it just takes one to get sick and the domino effect happen. So, but we are functioning, we're leaning into it, we're operating as normally as we can, and we're grateful for the patrons coming out, and we're again, I'm literally knocking on wood right now as far as to finish this run of this production with a healthy cast and crew.
Well, congratulations. I know that's got to be a huge relief, because of all the nonprofits or all the impact that COVID has had on nonprofits, live theater seems to probably have been one of the most impacted. And so to be able to finally have a post-pandemic sellout has got to feel very satisfying.
Thank you. It does. And I think the key word that I just heard you say is relief. And there is relief to it, especially, any nonprofit, honestly, any business, the end of your fiscal year, and ours, we work on a calendar year. So our end of our fiscal is December 31st. And, that end of year final quarter push is crucial. So this holiday show every year, whatever the title is, it's super important for us to, to end the year strong. Yeah. And I think that, again, the relief that this show is giving us is, I just want to say to your listeners, we can't do it without our patrons, whether that's their donors, their sponsors, they're buying single tickets, their season tickets, subscribers. We can't do it without our patrons. And a point that you just made as far as live nonprofit entertainment that has been hit, it's a two-sided coin. It's like we want to keep our patrons healthy, and that number has been different because the crowds are not what they used to. Yes, this is a sellout, but it's like I said, it's the first time in almost 5 years. That there's that side of keeping everybody healthy and protected, but there's also the internal, whether it's the cast, the crew, the people that are running backstage, we've got to protect them as well. So it's like, it's a two-sided sword there. But yes, we're grateful, we're thankful, but I really want your listeners to hear that we can't do it without you. And it's not lip service. Like, I genuinely mean it. We can't do what we do without our patrons.
So I'm wondering, this being the first sellout since
Yeah.
COVID, is it a matter of audiences getting more comfortable with the theater space, or is it something about Elf in particular that is
No,
drawing out the crowds?
I think it's a little of both. Actually, I think it's a little of one thing and a lot of the other. I think it's a little of the comfort level, the confidence is coming back. And
Yeah.
I honestly think it's the title. I think Elf just celebrated their 20th anniversary of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's, 2 decades of, fans and followers, and to bring Elf the musical to Roanoke, it's been on our short list for
Mm-hmm.
several years. And honestly, they just released the rights this past year for us to come, or to bring it to Roanoke. But I think the title is driving a lot of the success, but honestly, the confidence and folks coming out to a packed
Gotcha.
house, that's something too.
Well, Elf the movie, I mean, iconic. That's like it's got to be top three Christmas movies of all time. You got It's a Wonderful
Right.
Life, you've got Christmas Story,
That's the
and I would
story,
put
right?
Elf right up there at the top of the list.
I agree. And it's one of those things that it crosses generations.
Mm-hmm.
It crosses, faith-based, whatever your religion or whatever you follow, it crosses all of those. And it's just 2 hours of silly, joyful holiday spirit. There's no way that you can leave with a frown on your face when you leave the theater. It's just a bunch of silly, hopeful holiday fun, and they're doing a great job.
Awesome. Well, again, joined here on Buzz for Good by Ginger Poole, who's the producing artistic director for Mill Mountain Theater, which is just opened last week. Its
That's right.
holiday production of Elf. Now, I imagine everyone listening in is familiar with the movie Elf, but what is the biggest surprise that audience members might have in, seeing the musical production of Elf?
So they've done a great job. They hit all of the things that you are expecting to bring from the movie to the stage. And I think that's always, sometimes it can be a crux, changing something that was a movie first into a staged, whether it be a play or a musical.
Mm-hmm.
They've hit all of the highlights. I don't think there's anything that you'll leave going, oh, I wish they would have done that scene, because they give a little taste of everything that you're expecting. The
Right.
added, excuse me, the added bonus is there's song incorporated, and it's fabulous music. The music really is great. And then there's, a ton of tap dancing. So there's that element of just musical theater at its finest, that it culminates the movie onto stage, and it's fantastic. It's just fantastic.
Where's the cast from?
All over. So
Okay.
we have folks from, goodness, from Charlotte, North Carolina, from Florida, from New York, New Jersey, California. I mean, they're truly all over. And then, of course, right here in Roanoke, too, we've got a great youth ensemble with, I believe, 9 local youth members. And we've got Jeffrey McGullion, which is a regular on our stage, a Roanoke person, who's gracing the stage again. So truly all over the US, and here a big base here in Roanoke.
Lovely. Lovely. Well, I wish I could say I look forward to seeing it, but there are no tickets available.
I know, Michael. Oh my gosh. So I will say there is a chance, if anybody's willing to be put on a wait list, the box office has started wait list for every performance. We have seen a lot of those wait lists go in because, things happen. People
Sure.
have tickets, and, their plans change, or there might be sick or whatever. So we have gotten a lot of those waitlisted folks in to see the show. So there's still a slim chance, if you're willing to be placed on that wait list, that you can come and see us.
All right. And to do that, go to millmountain.org
That's
for,
right.
Mill Mountain Theater. So you kind of hinted at this earlier in our conversation, but how important is a holiday performance, or how important is Elf in particular to Mill Mountain's annual budget?
It's incredible in the sense that, in choosing a season and choosing titles, we've got a responsibility as a professional regional theater to not only listen to what our community wants to see, but we need to push our community a little bit also as far as some, more educational, even a little edgier pieces. That doesn't mean that it's for everybody, but I'd like to have an option that there is something for everybody somewhere on our season. And like I mentioned, as far as this final end of quarter push towards the end of year, our holiday show, no matter what season, what year, it holds a great importance of we're expecting it to finish strong and to finish our year strong. So it always holds a lot of weight in when we're doing that season planning. And of course, we want everything to do well, but sometimes you're going to produce things that that have a different value that's not just box office value, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. So how does this propel you then into next year?
This will set us up for coming in end of the year in the black in a healthy position,
Right.
to start 2024, which happens to be our 60th anniversary. We turned 60 years old in 2024. So this will tee us up and just have us mounted for a successful 60th.
Well, congratulations on the 60th. Once again, Ginger Poole, producing artistic director for Mill Mountain Theater. Give us a little sneak peek into what 2024 and your 60th has in store for us.
You got it. We are so excited about the 60th anniversary season. And like I mentioned, we do try to have something for everybody. We are bringing back our Fringe series, which we have over on our Waldron stage, which is like a 99-seat, very intimate black box setting.
Yep.
We'll start out our season with The Mountaintop, which is the story of Martin Luther King, and a really interesting perception of his final days in the hotel before his murder. So a little heavy weighted, but we're doing some partnerships with the Harrison Museum, which we're real excited about. We'll then move into our first show on the Trinkle main stage, which will start off with just a big old party. It's Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville.
Okay.
And yes, there is a full-blown music around all of Jimmy Buffett's music. And this is very timely because of his recent passing. We had no idea, but because we decided on this title, almost 14, 16 months ago.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. Right. So it's coincidental.
It was totally coincidental. And who knew that Charlottesville, Virginia has one of the largest parrot head fan clubs in the whole United States. So we're going to be tapping into our fellow Virginia parrot heads to come and support this Jimmy Buffett musical. But it's a lot of fun, a big party atmosphere, as you can imagine. And I think that'll start our 60th off with the bang on the Trinkle. We'll then we'll have a 60th anniversary concert where we do music over the years. We bring back a lot of our Mill Mountain alumni to grace the stage and just have a big homecoming reunion for that concert. One of our tours, our community tours, will be A Year with Frog and Toad from the children's book and series. We will bring cabaret to the main stage, which we're very excited about. This was a show that was originally intended for our 2020 season that had to be canceled when the COVID shutdown happened. So we're really excited to bring this one back. That will happen. We will move into our youth production on our main stage, which is Disney's Finding Nemo. We're excited to bring that to the stage. We will then, one of my all-time favorites, which it's just a beautiful story, and it's still such a relevant story to tell, is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
Right. Oh my gosh. It's just, it's amazing. And I'm so grateful that it did so well for us. We did this about, this will be almost 8 years ago, and it did insanely well for us. So I'm excited to bring that back. And then wrapping up the end of 2024 in this holiday slot, we are bringing to the stage Annie.
Yes.
Yeah, Annie the musical. So we're excited about that.
Wonderful. Real quick, just rewind To Kill a Mockingbird. I know that it's had a revival on Broadway with I guess a script somewhat adapted by Aaron Sorkin Is that going to be the version you use, or the, I guess, more traditional version?
We are going to do the more traditional version. So we will stick to that one. We are not going to do that Aaron Sorkin version. And actually, they are not releasing that version to regional theaters. They're still holding that one tight. So,
okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, we'll go the more traditional route.
Okay, well, Ginger, congratulations on the
Thank
success of
you.
Elf.
Thank you.
Congratulations in advance of your 60th anniversary next
Thank you
year.
so much.
Please go to millmountain.org to learn more, to support, to attend, all the things. And it sounds like it's shaping up to be a wonderful Merry Christmas for Mill Mountain Theater. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you for thinking of us to join you on your show. And I thank your listeners. And it's not too late or not too early to give the gift of Mill Mountain Theater for your holiday gift giving needs. We've got 2024 season tickets available now at the box office. But I appreciate your support so much, and I wish you a happy holiday.
Well, and to you, and before you go, I know that people who may want to be attending ELF are not going to be able to do so because it's sold out. Bravo. But maybe you could leave us with just a little taste of what they would hear if they were able to attend ELF. Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility. I'll give a little teaser sample and y'all can enjoy. And I hope to see you soon at Mill Mountain Theater.
A dad who's a million miles away. When he meets me, who knows what he'll see. But deep down I know I shouldn't be afraid, 'cause he's bound to be a lot like me. And we'll make angels in the snow till the snow begins to blow. Then we'll run inside and start a tickle fight.
Again, while it will be difficult to see Mill Mountain Theater's holiday musical Elf, there are some wonderful productions happening at the theater in 2024 during its 60th anniversary season. So make plans to attend, and better yet, why don't you go and buy a gift certificate to one of their productions and present it as a Christmas gift. Tickets are still available for the concert being produced by our next guest, Kim Davidson, founding director of the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir, and here's our conversation. All right, it is my pleasure to welcome to Buzz for Good, Kim Davidson, the founding director of the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir. Welcome.
Thank you, Michael. I'm glad to be here.
And I should say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, because you are getting ready to celebrate the choir's 37th annual Songs of the Season on December the 16th. Tell us about it.
Oh, it's going to be such a beautiful concert. It really celebrates the holidays, and it also celebrates children and the way they see the holidays, and also the accomplishments that children can make when they work hard. And it's just beautiful. It gives me goosebumps. But I know a lot of the parents and the people in the audience, they write and they say, "This gives me hope for the future. These are our future." Mm-hmm. And the music is beautiful and touches hearts. So yes, we're getting ready to sing our 37th annual concert, and it will be at Cave Spring Baptist Church. And we'll have concerts at 3 and 7. And okay. Tickets are available at childrenschoir.com. You can buy an electronic ticket. And gosh, we just hope to fill it up and share this joy of children singing and the joy of the season.
Well, it certainly deserves to be filled up because the choir under your direction is fabulous. For those who may not know anything about Roanoke Valley Children's Choir, tell us about it.
Well, let's see. Well, this is my 37th year directing the children's choir, and I am blessed. It's not just a job, it's definitely my passion. And watching these children learn and grow up is beautiful. And in the children's choir, we have 3 training choirs, so a younger elementary choir, an older elementary choir, and a middle school choir. And then we have our high school concert choir. And each one of the choirs is led through training process to learn how to bring out the best in their voice and sing beautiful songs, and then have really exciting performance opportunities. So through the years, we've had big performance opportunities for the high school group, sung at Carnegie Hall. We've had 5 solo performances there,
Wow.
and we've sung for the National Christmas tree lighting early in our years and got to meet a couple presidents. And we've had a solo performance at Canterbury Cathedral in England, and one of the few American choirs that were selected to sing the solo evensong, which has been a tradition in the church, in the cathedrals since the year 647.
Wow.
And so because we got to do that, then we also sang at the Washington, D.C. National Cathedral an evensong. We've had wonderful experiences singing with the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra, and just this past weekend we sang Holiday Pops with Maestro David Stewart Wiley and the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra. It was a beautiful experience. Our younger middle school choirs, they sang with the Discovery Concerts with the Roanoke Youth Symphony Orchestra last week. The performance opportunities, they're exciting, and they stretch the children.
Yeah.
And that's exciting to see.
Yeah. Well, you talk about, obviously you're teaching children how to sing better, but you're teaching more than just singing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Along the way, we teach all about determination and working hard for singing. So practicing, that's important. But singing is such a team sport.
Mhm.
It's an activity that we can only be great if we're great together. So they learn a lot about teamwork and a lot about leadership, because in a group like this, just even the littlest people, the first and second graders, if I say, well, it looks like Sally doesn't have music, would someone please help her find music? And so one little child will say, oh, I know where the extra binders are. And I said, well, then you take care of that, please. And we build on that all through the years. Leadership skills. How can I be helpful? Teaching them that a leader is a helper. And so they learn how to look for ways to help each other. And the environment that we're able to build is so very respectful and caring. And many of our children and their parents refer to it as family. Yeah. And these kids, these choristers that I grow to absolutely love, they grow to be not only leaders in their school, but then in college and in the community afterwards. And there's scientific studies that have been done by Chorus America that tell about the higher leadership abilities, characteristics from children who have sung in a children's choir. And that's so exciting.
Well, having been in choirs all my life as well, I found that we as a society place a whole lot more emphasis on athletics, and even I would say in some academics than we do the arts, especially when it comes to kids. And oftentimes a child who is more artistically inclined often doesn't feel like he or she has a home growing up through elementary school and middle school and high school. But then they come to a choir, for instance, or a band, and it's like, oh, I've found my people now.
That's true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, not everyone is an athlete.
Yeah.
But music, singing is so beautiful, because nearly everyone can sing, and nearly everyone can work hard. Well, everyone can work hard and learn the skills and to practice. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And we have children from all walks of life. And we do have children who have been hurting, and the choir is their safe place. It's their place that they feel welcome and they really feel a part of it. And that is so important for our children.
Yeah. Well, once again, here, joined on Buzz for Good by Kim Davidson, the founding director of the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir, which will be celebrating its 37th annual Songs of the Season holiday concert on December the 16th. At Cave Spring Baptist, and ticket information at childrenschoir.com. I asked the same of Ginger Poole at Mill Mountain Theater, and I'll ask the same for you. How important financially is the Christmas concert, the holiday concert, to the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir budget, because Ginger said it's huge for Mill Mountain Theater. It seems like a lot of artistic nonprofits place a lot of hope in a Christmas concert.
And we're exactly the same. This
Yeah.
is our best revenue, our concerts, and our holiday concert seems to be the most popular.
Mhm.
And yes, so we are hoping to fill it up twice, and that is extremely important to us. Not only financially, but really, we want to spread the joy of the season with as many people as possible.
Mhm. Well, years past, you held the event at the Jefferson Center, and last year you changed locations, and I got to say it was fabulous, with plenty of parking, a lovely venue, and plenty of seating. So
Yeah, and
it
this will
was,
be the same.
yeah,
Great parking, easy access in and out of the church,
yep,
and a lovely setting.
yeah, yeah, and the choir just sounds spectacular as always. I can't wait to be there, and I hope that a lot of listeners who are tuning in will buy a ticket and go and just. I mean, obviously you'll hear some beautiful holiday music, from around the world, but also you will just be re-inspired by hope in kids today, if you will.
Yeah, and they sound like angels, which is a
Yeah.
miracle when you start in August thinking, oh goodness, we have to sound like angels by December, but we're doing it. They're doing it.
Yeah.
So yes, if you want to hear the sounds of angels, please come and enjoy the concert.
And you have some guest musicians as well who will be coming in as well. Tell us about them.
Yes, the Roanoke Chamber Brass will be accompanying us, and also Julie Hickok's flute. She's been with us for like 25 years,
Mhm.
and from the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra, and we love having them. They add so much to the beauty of the concert.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, to sign off here, I'm going to play a couple of tracks from previous Roanoke Valley Children's Choir holiday performances, and hopefully that will entice all listeners here to want to go to childrenschoir.com and purchase a ticket or several tickets to one
Yes.
of the Roanoke Valley Children's Choir's Songs of the Season holiday performances taking place on December the 16th at Cave Spring Baptist. Kim, thank you so much for coming on to Buzz for Good. Any parting words for listeners in terms of the children's choir and the holiday season?
Just a thank you to you, Michael, for helping us spread the word. And our children's choir concert is for people with all kinds of taste in music, quite a pre-professional choir, but also singing lots of familiar carols. So this concert is really for everyone. So I hope to see you there.
Well, it's the best children's choir in Virginia, if not beyond the state lines. So thanks so much. And I look forward to being there. Merry Christmas.
Okay, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Again, we will be featuring holiday music from area nonprofits on our next Buzz for Good radio show, so make sure you tune in. Until then, please stay connected with us on our website, buzzforgood.com. That's buzz, B-U-Z-Z, 4, good.com, as well as our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all at Buzz for Good. Coming up this Friday, December 15th, on our YouTube channel at Buzz for Good. And if you have access to Alabama Public Television, we will present our first Buzz in Birmingham TV show featuring the nonprofit COSPO, or Children of Slain Police Officers. Following COSPO will be our episodes starring Studio by the Tracks, which provides artistic programming for people with autism, HICA, or the Hispanic Interest Coalition of Alabama, and Bundles of Hope Diaper Bank. They will be airing on December 22nd, December 29th, and January 5th. And while they're about nonprofits in Alabama, their themes and their missions are universal. We're really proud of them, and I hope you tune in to watch. Many thanks to the Mike and Gillian Goodrich Foundation in Birmingham for helping underwrite our production costs. And here is a clip from our first episode of two children whose dads were killed in the line of duty serving the Birmingham Police Department.
My name is Ed Harden. I am the chairman of the board and president of COSPO, which is an acronym standing for Children of Slain Police Officers Killed in the Line of Duty.
So my name is Scott Thurman. I serve as Chief of Police for the Birmingham Police Department. I've worked with the Birmingham Police Department for 25 years. As a young teenager, I remember my dad talking about finding a profession that I enjoyed to go and do every day, and so not sitting at a desk wasn't for me. And so being out, helping people, serving people, keeping people safe was just something that excited me. My dad was a Marine in Vietnam, and so service has always been, I guess, in my family. And so this was just something that excited me and something I knew I wanted to do from a young age.
In 1985. Mayor Richard Arrington and then Police Chief Arthur Dortch called me and asked me to come by their offices to organize a fund to provide support for children of Birmingham police officers killed in the line of duty so they could attend college.
So, of course, the state and the federal government will pay money to the families as well as the city of Birmingham. But I think the thing that I always think of is, what's the long term? That's an instant payment. But what happens long term? They have to live the rest of their lives and care for their families and their children. So how does that play out? And so I think that's where COSPO comes in. That to know that if I lose my life in the line of duty today, that my children's education is taken care of is a huge relief to me, and I know it would be a huge relief to my wife.
Oftentimes when officers are killed, the children are very young and don't become college age until, years past the death of their parent. And we try to stay in touch with them and let them know that they have a future, to study hard, make good grades, so you can go to college.
You could lose your life in this profession, so it really hits home when you see those things and you have to go to those funerals and you experience that man, I might lose my life doing this, but it didn't stop me. It didn't stop any of our officers from continuing to work hard every day and to work hard to save other people or protect them.
When you say college expenses, that run a wide range.
100%.
100%.
Food, transportation, housing. The state of Alabama has a fund that pays. If you go to a state college, they will pay your tuition. But that's just part of the expense. I mean, the living expense is it's where we step up and add to that support. I think this past year we've spent right at $100,000 on our 3 students.
The Birmingham Police Department has a museum with a wall of plaques remembering the 51 officers who have been killed in the department's history. Today, I'm meeting Sergeant Kalisha Canyon, the department liaison for the families who have lost a loved one in the line of duty.
So on the wall, we have plaques that were made for all the officers that suffered a line of duty, that died in the line of duty.
In the history of the Birmingham
In the history of the police department.
Okay.
And it shows, to me, it shows that the wall represents heroism because the officers paid the ultimate sacrifice. They got up in the morning, came to work, put on a blue uniform to protect the citizens and the community of Birmingham, and they lost their lives. Currently, I have serviced 4 families. So here we have Officer Charles Robert Bennett. He was killed in 2004, along with Charlie Chisholm and Carlos Owens, and we serviced his daughter, Caroline Bennett.
It's amazing because, according to here, these officers were killed in 2004.
Yes, sir.
And here we are almost 20 years later, and COSPO is there eager to help them get through college, their kids get through college.
Yes, sir. We faced a lot of challenges here at the police department, and our most recent one would be Sergeant Carter for his bravery. He was killed in 2019 in the line of duty.
What happened?
He responded to a call along with some more officers, and situation took a turn for the worse, and he was killed trying to arrest the suspect along with the officers that night.
You knew him?
I did, yes, sir.
Friend of yours?
He was a very good friend of mine and co-worker, and right now I am, the liaison for his family. And I've been standing in the gap since 2019 with the police department and his family.
Tell me about his family.
Awesome family. He has an awesome wife, Tiffany Carter. At the time when Sergeant Carter was killed, his son, Taylor Carter, he was a student at Oak Mountain School, and now he's in college at University of Alabama.
Oh, wow.
So he had great mom and awesome father. He come from a good family, and he was an outstanding officer. No problems while he was here at the police department. Everybody loved Sergeant Carter. That's the gist of it.
Yeah. Quite the responsibility for you to be there for his family and kind of places.
Yes, sir, yeah. So with the family, I had to plan the funeral, and that consisted of officers from all 50 states. So it was a big event for the police department, right?
Well, what does it mean to be the ones who are honoring his memory, not only his memory, but his children and his family moving forward?
It means a lot. Yes, sir, it means a lot.
My name is Taylor Carter. I'm a sophomore here at the University of Alabama. I studied criminal justice. My dad was a sergeant at Birmingham Police Department. His name was Watasha Carter, and his end of watch was 2019 of January. The thing I remember the most is his personality. He's very outgoing. I have a lot of his personality. I hang out with a lot of people, very friendly. So mostly I remember the nurturing parts, the things he taught me that helps me now as I grow up. I mean, I was 14, I think, so I was pretty young. I was still a freshman in high school, trying to figure out how high school works, so still very young. Basically, he was a guy that was on his 3rd strike and just really didn't want to go back. Things go wrong, and that's just the job, and you can't really choose and pick the night of who decides to do what, so. I learned about COSPO my senior year. I think I got invited to, my mom told me we were invited to some like elegant dinner or something like that. And that these people wanted to pay for my schooling, which was really cool to hear about. So this is a mural that my mom got made. I want to say the year was like 2020. Really good painter, got it done. So that was something really nice and cherishable. The last football game I went to with my dad. I do have this right here. So yeah, this was his promotion to sergeant. So we all got together during the day, I think it was, yeah. And when saw everybody get promoted and get his badge of honor in the red and stuff like that. Well, it's been four years. So, I mean, I guess you could say I have points where I'm sad, but I've never been the type to like, I'm not a crier, so I don't really cry, but I mean, I can get pretty sad and like just kind of close myself off to the world at times, but outside of that, not much, usually because I try to think of what he would want me to do in the situation, and it wouldn't be to just sit and soak and mourn all the time, so. To keep me from being sad, I guess if I'm not feeling myself, I play my drums, so that's kind of a big part of who I am. I do YouTube stuff for fun, so that kind of helps. Play the game, it's another one. I like to play video games, so something that me and him used to do all the time, so I kind of still hold on to that. I think you'd say he'd be proud, because I went to the university. That was #1 on my list when I first started when I was 14. He made me make a list of my top 5 schools, so and Bama was #1. So I got the academic process that he would want me to do. I joined the Honor Society, something that he would have been proud of. So I think overall that would be his words.
I'm Caroline Bennett. This is my mom, Susan Bennett, and my dad was Robert Bennett. So as far as what I remember about my dad, truthfully, not a lot. I really don't have a lot of memories about him. I kind of live through the memories that I hear from my family and my mom. I know he's a family man, loved God, loved his North Carolina basketball.
That's in fact what she was named after. He wanted to name her Carolina, but I told him that was not a name, that was a state. So, and when she was born, I had gone to the store after we brought her home, and when I came back, he had put all kind of North Carolina stuff around, saying I was born to be a Tar Heel. So, but he loved his family.
So in 2004, June 17th, my dad was killed, and I was 4, almost 5 years old.
I was at home sick and did not know that there was anything going on that day. I received a phone call from somebody at work asking if Rob was okay, telling me that 3 officers had been killed in Inslee, and just making sure that he was okay. So that was the first time that I had even heard anything was going on. From that phone call, it was within 30 minutes, Birmingham was at my door. So in one aspect, I didn't have to sit there and worry like some of the other family members of the other officers did for hours. But I can just remember plain as day seeing the car pull up in the driveway and me closing the door and going up the hall like that was going to make it go away. Having to go, my mom took me up to the daycare to pick up Caroline, and we sat down in the director's office. You know, they loved Rob just as much as we all did. They brought her in there and everybody's crying, and I have to tell Caroline that her dad is gone to heaven, that we won't get to see him here on earth anymore. And just the sweetest childlike phrase, she just looked at me and said, "You mean my dad won't be here on my merry day?" And we all just cried. Your life has changed forever. I thought my life was over. 33 and widowed with a 4-year-old. But as having a 4-year-old, you have to keep going. You cannot just stop living. And she is the one that would push me at times. She didn't know it, but she did. I would be driving home from work. I picked her up from daycare and on the phone with one of my friends. And I'll just start crying and pull in the driveway. And all of a sudden, I get this hand on my back. It'll be okay, Mommy. It'll be okay. And you talk about wanting to make that made the crying much worse. But it's things like that she didn't know what she was doing, but she definitely kept pushing and kept me going.
So I knew I wanted to like commemorate my dad in some way. So I wanted to get a tattoo. Like I wanted something that was him. And so I actually, this exact picture, I got an outline of it tattooed on my shoulder. So I can always have him with me. So, but yeah, it's that exact little outline of me and him just looking out at the ocean. So, but. Stop it.
Within the first week of his death, he was a sergeant, Alan Treadaway, but he was kind of our liaison, and he would bring the information, tell us that we were entitled to these benefits. And at that time, he said, and as for college, you don't have to worry about that. Her college will be paid for. And he mentioned COSPO, but I mean, think how many years there was between age 4 to age 18. But that, I mean, her dad would be ecstatic about that. He was very avid about your education. He never went to college, but he wished he had, and he wanted nothing but the best for his little girl.
I was thinking about it the other day too, in the sense that like such a blessing was able to come out of such of a tragedy, and it's one that I'm really grateful for. It's like I had told you, not a club that you want to join, not benefits you even really want, but you're so glad that you have them. Ever since I was quite literally 4 afterwards, when Mom knew that my school would be paid for, right out the gate, she's pushing, you've got to go to school. You're going to go to school. You're going to take advantage of all of this opportunity. So there was never a question whether or not I was going to go to college at all. So try and take as much advantage of the opportunity that was given.
Yes.
So for my first 4 years, I went to the University of Alabama. And I double majored in psychology and addiction recovery. I graduated summa cum laude. Big proud of that one. And I have continued that journey. I'm at Samford University right now. I have 1 more year left. I'm studying clinical social work. And I have been really blessed with a lot of awesome educational opportunities. During my undergraduate years, I worked in collegiate recovery, which helps individuals that are in college that are struggling with addiction. When I went to Samford, I spent the last year working with teen girls that have been human trafficked. One of the big things as an ode to him that I'm doing currently is my research project for grad school is how first responders handle vicarious trauma, and I'm doing that through Birmingham's police department. So I kind of get to have that tie still with him of giving back to even his own personal department and seeing the ways that I can help them. So
I don't think she would have been able to get as much education. I mean, you certainly wouldn't have been able to go to Samford for your master's if I was going to have to pay for it. But you know, it enabled her to open doors for her education, to go to the best place to train her and to get her expertise and her knowledge and education that she needs to pursue her passion. And there are no amount of words that I could say to thank them for what they did.
The end goal for the education is to give back to the community that's given me so much. So I want to focus in trauma-informed therapy for first responders. So all comes full circle. So, yeah.
It's a great organization, is all I can say, and very thankful for it. I would give everything back if we could have Rob back, but obviously we can't. So we just go on and move on day by day, and we honor him.
Every day I know that I wake up and I do what I do to honor my dad and make him as proud as possible. I know that he's proud of me. I will say one of the hardest parts of the educational journey is knowing that someone who would be so proud of me doesn't get to attend graduations and be there for any inductions, any honors, anything like that. So those are really hard moments that I hate that he has to miss, but I know that he's there. Birmingham's police department has been there to support me through it all. I've had officers come to my graduations and stuff like that, so I still know that he's being honored and his presence is still there. Cosbo has been an absolute blessing. There's a lot of hardship and stress and financial stress that comes with higher education, and getting to remove some of those stressors so that I can purely focus on doing the best academically that I can. That I hate that I had to have suffered and that we had to have lost him, but that I still get to go forward, live on, and pursue ways that I can help others through it all. Yeah, I'm eternally grateful for everything that Cosmo has done for my family. It's been
Absolutely
amazing.
All right, that'll do it for today's show. Tune in next time to enjoy sounds of the season from area nonprofits. Until then, please stay connected with us on our website, buzzforgood.com. That's buzz, B-U-Z-Z, 4 good.com, as well as our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all at Buzz for Good. Until next time, keep being a buzz for good in your community. Bye now.